Alrighty guys, we're out here. This is Chad Franks, independent AMS oil dealer out of Lisbon, Iowa. So it's me, Thrilla, and this is Manila, or vice versa. I guess I could be Manila. He looks like more of a thrill. So anyhow, as we still got this off. Hey, seat, sit down. There you go. You stay. So anyhow, we're still doing the diff. Diff's got to go back in, and how I teased last time. I showed you a quick pumpkin differential drain and blah blah blah. I'm just literally just ask mom what her plans are. Okay, well, does that give me 40 minutes? All right. So like if I get 40 minutes, I'll do this hub. 40 minutes, do that hub. So we're knocking it out, and we're still waiting on the diff. So the rush isn't urgent. But anyhow, wanted to quick talk to you. Dextron, Mercron 3, blah blah blah. Normal GM stuff. Anyhow, so this is AMSOIL's ATF. I hate to use the word lower grade because it's really great grade, but it's their baseline product that is phenomenal and full synthetic. Then this is their top tier product. So I just wanted to show you that that's that. And then it's like same here, Chevy van, yada yada, little bow tie bubba. Okay. Well, I'm still rocking GM and AMC and AM General and blah, blah, blah. But I'm also a Ford guy. I got the F450. So, but anyhow, transfer case. We're going to plug in these bad boys and pump them in there. And it's kind of messy. So, not only does this pertains to a Humvee, so you know exactly what you're doing on your Humvee. A transfer case is a transfer case. It's pretty gosh darn simple. There's some that are full-time. There's some that have high two-wheel drive. But then in the rock crawling world, you got twin sticks, where one stick controls the front axle and the other one, and blah, blah, blah. So I used to have an old CJ5 that was twin stick, so I could put the rear axle in neutral and be a front-wheel drive Jeep, and you just you break a rear or U-joint, you drive her home front-wheel drive. But if you take the drive shaft out on any four-wheel drive, you can do that. But it's got to be a true four-wheel drive with a beefy front end. It doesn't quite work with some of the wimpy all-wheel drives. So, crawling under here, that right there, that's my rear drive shaft, and it's down because the differential's out. But, so, here's a normal transfer case. It doesn't really matter what you hop under. They're all about the same. They're going to have a low drain, which I loosen these with this big honking socket. So, but you can have a 3/8 square head, you can have a 1/2 inch square head, you can have a 9/6, it doesn't matter, but low drain, top fill. You fill it up until it oozes out, but don't stress your seals. If you're pumping it in there and it starts oozing out, don't rush and put that plug in. Let your pan sit under there, because that's the perfect level. Let it dribble on slow, so it's basically nothing coming out. If anything, you can be a smidge low, where your first knuckle of your pinky, you put it in there and dip, and then if your pinky gets wet, that's where you want to be. So by all means, when you're filling it, at that point you fill it, and if it starts gushing out, don't panic, just whatever. You're wasting 25 cents of fluid. Let it run in your pan, let it settle down. That's where it wants to be, because with heat and cold, everything expands and contracts. So, and an engineer that makes way more than us compensated for that. So, here is the beautiful nightmare. To try to make a video, I want to use my other hand. Hold on. At least that way. A, I don't want to eat any fluid, and B, I don't want to mess up my phone or my pretty little face, but whatever, maybe we'll all have a laugh, huh? I'm projecting trajectile, alright, and that's the way it goes. So, I could be wrong, but here, the top fill plug, we're going to take it out. There we go. She's pretty clean. Sometimes they're magnetic, so you might see metal shavings. You want to wipe them off and clean them off, and a little bit's normal. It's not catastrophic. if you're getting chunks, all right, here you go. Here's where everybody gets a laugh. I don't know which way this is going to shoot, but I'm going to drop the bolt. Whoop! See? We lightly missed our pan, but life goes on. But now watch. Your trajectory is going to taper back. There we go. So we slid the pan, made a mess. Such is life. But anyhow, this is all really good, because I'm sure the guy that got this Humvee before me, he changed it and everything. But we're draining it anyway, because it might be Dino, it might be whatever. It could be Dollar General or Walmart. I don't know, I don't care. I want a fresh, clean slate, so. And as an AMSOIL dealer, I want my product in there. But we'll give her a good little. Shh. Ooh. So now we come to the daylight. So, which I'm glad I did, because I don't even know if this will focus, but I got a tiny little fragment of metal sticking in my finger. So, anyhow, there is some, let me see, on this finger, right there, that dark goop, and it's just metallic and it's wear, and there's no filter in there. So your transfer case is just a wet zone. It's bath oiled or bathing, so that's why you want to change it. So the fluid looks good. I'm glad I flushed it. I'm glad I got clean fluid from the last person and a good drain and everything. But I'm gonna put better oil in there, my AMSOIL and whatnot. So as soon as this gets done trickling, pissing, whatever you want to call it, I'll put the drain plug in. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to use my handy dandy pumper, and which I'll wipe the ends off, I know. And I'm going to pump it up in there until it's full. And that's pretty much that. But since we're here, let me see if I'll take the time now how that universally showed every guy with a four-wheel drive how that universally showed every guy with a four-wheel drive how to change your transfer case. That's all it is. I don't care if you're rocking a Chevrolet, a Ford, a Dodge Cummins, you ain't got nothing special. A transfer case is a transfer case. And when you start getting into axles and everything, it don't matter if you're driving a Chevy, a Dodge, or whatever. You'll find you're rocking Dana Spicer, Dana 44, Dana 60, Dana 80, Dana 55, blah, 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 blah. So on and so on. So when you get to here, that's what you're getting at. So it's all pretty universal, no matter whether you're a Chevy or a Dodge hater or this and that. But what I want to talk about is right here. And now this is our shift linkage. And then where my middle finger's tapping. Those, when in the previous video, if you're watching, when I did, I called it the front diff and a peek at the geared hubs. Those two lines are your tranny cooler lines. And they go to a little tiny U-shaped fin cooler in there. And those are known to crack. That's what causes a vampire Humvee. So probably down the road, I am going to loop and make those fit together and delete it. Because I'm putting the best AMSOIL in it. No civilian truck has this. So, and this isn't a problem. It's still not a vampire right now, and this is an 87, and here we are in 2017. My Humvee's not a vampire, so I will address it, but I'm not going to do it right now. But those two lines, you disconnect them, loop them together, and then you cap off or loop together your transfer case ones. So I have enough confidence in my AMSOIL that it's gonna keep the transfer case perfectly cool, just like any other SUV four-wheel drive that doesn't have a cooling line for the last 50 years. So I don't need that. But if that cracks inside the transfer case, it drains the whole entire transmission into the transfer case, stresses the transfer case seals, and ruins and burns up your transmission. But now one would say, well, the transfer case can't hold that much. But the Humvee, like right here, vent tubes. Every hub every pumpkin, transmission all have a central vent tube to the air breather so it can forward water without getting, because everything expands and contracts at every oil orifice. So it's all these central lines go together and they go to the air box. So what happens is the vampire cracks in the transfer case overfills, runs up the vent tube, and it runs all the way to the air filter box and starts saturating the air filter and basically plugs it up. And if you're lucky, the air filter bogging your motor, you notice that before it burns up your transmission. So anyhow, just wanted to speak on that. So we got transfer service on a Humvee, transfer service on anything with a transfer case, and then aside from that, you know what a vampire is. Your two lines right there, and oh no, I'm sorry, I just touched the wrong ones. Over here, those are your vampire lines, so the transfer case cooler. But anyhow, let me scooch out back to our transfer case. So now it's just dripping. So I might even leave the fill plug out, give like 2 squirts, let a little extra run out for a little better flush. Now what would be ideal, I got this on jack stands because I'm still waiting to polish up the pumpkin and everything. I got 2 kids and a third on the way, so I want everything right before we go. But normally a hot drop always flushes faster and harder. So, but anyhow, I'll be happy with this. So they did the fluid. I bet the fluid was done in the last 4 months. So, but I don't know what they put in. But I'm gonna put the very best. So basically, put the drain plug back in, no problem. And I'll let it drip for a few more minutes even after I let you go. But put the drain plug in. I'm going to fill it up to there. When it oozes out, stop pumping. Let it finish oozing. Then put your plug in. So there you go. Whether you're looking at this for specifically Humvee or just a general transfer case, because I'll make the title reflect a little bit of both, you'll have your answer. All right? Thanks, guys. Bye.